Have you ever felt like waking up was the hardest thing to do? Have you ever felt so betrayed and so frustrated and so scared about what your life holds? I think everyone at some point in their life has experienced that debilitating fear and most importantly, doubt in themselves. Whether it's because you've recently graduated and are currently unemployed still, or that you've recently broken up with someone that you're in a long relationship with, or that you're in your 40s or 50s and you still don't know what to do with your life. Please watch this entire video because I assure you, these ideas, which are not mine by the way, I'm not capable enough to come up with these ideas. These are genius ideas. But if you can find out one little thing to do that will change your life for the better, I guarantee it, you won't regret it. Number 1, start with acknowledgement. Just the fact that you have the desire to be better is enough. I mean, in the beginning it is. Most people, I would say 99.9% of people are already numb. They're not even willing to acknowledge that they need help. In fact, they probably use different measures. Alcohol, sometimes narcotics, if you live in places like America, or even if you have an addiction of some sort. As long as you have this deep underlying desire to get better, that is a strong enough indication that you probably will get better. You need to acknowledge yourself for that. You need to encourage yourself for that. Don't ever talk yourself out of getting help. Don't ever try to convince yourself that you don't deserve happiness, because in fact you do. Everyone deserves to live the best life. Everyone deserves to feel like they're capable of whatever they want to achieve. Your situation is better than you think. I'm not saying that it's not hard. I'm saying that it's better than you think because your brain has this spotlight effect where it magnifies every problem possible and ignores the good things in your life. Number 2, get to know yourself and keep track of your thoughts. Before we get better, we have to know where we're at, and sometimes people don't know themselves. And the best way to do it, by far, is to keep a diary. This is what I had when I was going through a breakup. In fact, it was the only thing I had because I didn't know how to open up to people. I had myself as my guidance. Write every single day. It doesn't matter how much you write. The point is, you start doing something to help yourself. You start noticing and identifying what it is you're thinking. In writing a diary, you'll start to notice different patterns in your thoughts. You'll start to catch yourself when you start thinking negative thoughts. When you're writing your diary, don't try to be fancy. Be completely and brutally honest with yourself. If you're petty, if you're angry, if you're envious, if you're jealous of that other person, just completely be honest on your paper. No one else will see it. You can be sure of that. If you don't feel confident about that, buy a safe. Keep your journal, keep your diary inside the safe so that nobody can read it. Once you're able to identify your, should I say, negative thought pattern, it is then okay to ask for help. Either go to a therapist, or if you feel intimidated, go to a bookstore. Look for books. Look for a friend that has more experience than you do. Be okay with where you're at right now, and at least have the desire to ask for help. Rule number 3, define success for yourself. I actually hate the word success itself. I would prefer the word value, because success indicates a dichotomy between success and failure. You're either a success or you're a failure. Too often you're in the middle, and success for everyone is different. For some, it means getting a job in a big corporation. For others, like myself, means financial freedom, being able to work anytime, anywhere. Or, you want to be a teacher. You don't want to make that much money. Or sometimes success just means being strong, being okay after a breakup, or a major heartbreak, or a major setback in your life. Or sometimes success is just a simple act of kindness. That to me is success. So in order to feel okay, in order to feel like you're progressing in life, you have to know where your destination is, because that destination is different for everyone. It is perfectly okay to focus on what you're good at and ignore what you're not good at. It's completely pointless and a waste of time to compare yourself with other people because you don't have the same goals, and you shouldn't try to copy others either. Your biggest competition, believe it or not, is you. I know it sounds like a cliche, but it is true, because sometimes your laziness, your procrastination, all the bad habits stand in your way more so than your competitors, or so you think. I also don't like the word goals, because goals focus too much on the destination too. Too many times we say, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to be able to speak English in a month. That's so much focus on the goal, on the destination, on the result, and not so much on the system, on the routine, on your day-to-day practice. When we don't see progress on day one, it's very easy to get sidetracked or frustrated. So instead of focusing on the grandiose idea, the grandiose definition of success in the future, try to focus on success today. Rule number 4, start with choosing. Believe it or not, sometimes too many options is not a good thing, because more often than not, it leads to inaction. Whoever said that the best thing to do is the right thing, the next best thing to do is the wrong thing, and the worst thing to do is not do anything. I think that says enough. It's actually better to do the wrong thing, or at least do something, than to do nothing at all. You don't want to analyze and think too much, because that's what you did before. You spend too much time thinking and so little time actually doing anything. Something happens when you start acting. Little increments of progress start to show up. Little opportunities start to come up because, well, opportunities often come in a disguise of work. So when the intuition is there, when the impulse is there, when sometimes you've been called to do something for free, take that opportunity, because doing something is better than doing nothing. Rule number 5, start with the little things. Whoever said that if you want to change the world, start by making your bed. This one is both literally correct and metaphorically correct. It's literally correct because too often we can't even get up on time, let alone make our bed. So if you're in that messy mood, it's very less likely for you to get any major things done in your day. And that sets the tone for the whole day. Whatever we do in life, whatever goals we want to set, don't try to get yourself hyped up for this big grandiose thing. Like, I gotta run 5K today. Start with walking. Start with getting outside. Start with waking up earlier. If you want to be a blogger, start by, recording yourself. That's what I did. I was so afraid to put myself out there. For 3 years, I only recorded my self-talk and I never released any videos. And what's great about taking little actions and building little habits is that they often turn into big impact. Have you ever heard of the phrase compound effect? Most of the time, your life is not defined by that big moment. It's an accumulation of the small decisions that you take over time, well, compounded. So if you decide to work out the first thing in the morning, you'll feel so good and so proud of yourself that you feel like you can do anything throughout the day. So that already puts you in a good mood and therefore puts you in a better position to succeed in your day, compared to if you were to wake up late, ashamed of yourself, you feel like I already lost a whole day. Rule number 6, embrace risks and failure. Sometimes the safest thing to do is the riskiest thing to do because no one else would do it. Go the extra mile because it's not so crowded. Have you ever seen an airport or a train station where everyone is trying to get on the escalator? Well, over here on the stairs, nobody is on there. And that's what you want to do. It might seem harder, but you'll have a better time doing it. I also like to invite you to get rejected proactively. In fact, before you try to get anything done, get used to the habit of being rejected, because once you get over the fear of rejection, nothing will faze you. Everything becomes possible. Whoever said that on the opposite of fear is everything that you crave for. Whether it's a girl that you want to go ask out or a job opportunity, just ask. You never know what will happen. And rejection won't kill you. The thing is, when we get rejected, we have this physiological reaction like everything is coming to an end. You literally feel like something is trying to kill you. You feel the pain physically. But it is important for you to control your thoughts, to know that this will pass. This rejection is not physical pain. Don't blow it up. Don't magnify it. And rule number 7, be grateful. When the going gets tough, it's very, very hard to look for things to be grateful for. When you're grateful, when you're in a good mood, you're more likely to do something that's hard. You're more likely to do something out of character. And if you talk about it from a practical standpoint, somebody else always has it worse than you. Somebody else always don't have their 4 limbs attached. I'm not saying that you should compare yourself with other people. I'm not saying that you should look down on other people. I'm saying that you should appreciate what you have and stop looking for what you don't have. Rule number 8. Just do it. I know it's a catchphrase, but it really is simple as that. And I should add, just do it. Don't overthink it. Because sometimes we overthink a problem that actually creates more stress. Too many times, we've talked ourselves out of an opportunity. We underestimated our potential. We overestimated the difficulty. The less you think when the moment is right, when your intuition is calling out to you, the better chance you got. Rule number 9, stop blaming others and outside factors. Your parents' fate doesn't define yours. Your education doesn't define yours. There's no one route to success. As long as you take full advantage of what you're good at, of your time, of your desire to help people, your desire to get better, then be rest assured you will create success. But it is your success, it's not anyone else's. Rule number 10, be aware and be selective about your surroundings. I say surroundings in a physical and emotional way. So if you want to get better, if you want to get into the habit of eating well and exercising, then I would suggest that you join a group of like-minded people, say a running group. I'm not saying that you should get away and detach yourself from your family or your friends, but instead of focusing on them, maybe find new people to help you, to give you support that you need. And I should also add your physical environment in terms of where you live, where you sleep, where you eat. If that environment is messy and dirty, then your state of mind will likely be the same because your outside world reflects what's going on inside. And so you want to create a harmony between your physical environment and your mental environment. Rule number 11, redefine your self-image. The first thing you gotta do is guard your negative self-talk. Whatever it is you think, or whatever it is that you say to yourself will become true. And your brain doesn't know that, your subconscious doesn't know if it's good for you or not. So when you tell yourself you're smart, you probably are smart. When you tell yourself you're ugly, you probably will become ugly. Or that you're fat. I know it will sound like delusion, but when you tell yourself, or at least when you don't acknowledge every negative thought, it's actually easier to change for the better because you're priming your brain. Because think about it, we have, I think, 60 to 80,000 thoughts in a day. Most of it you don't even realize because it's in your subconscious. So if you want to become a better person, you got to start treating yourself as a better person. You know, treat yourself as a friend. You probably won't say half the things you say to yourself to your friend because they're mean. You know, you don't give yourself the benefit of doubt. Like, why would you treat your friend and your family better than you treat yourself when this is all you got? Stop labeling yourself with all these labels like you're not smart enough, or you're an introvert, you're an extrovert, you're not confident enough. These ideas are just suggestions. Whoever it is that told you that, they don't know any better. You know, sometimes it's your friends, sometimes it's your family members, sometimes it's your teachers. I mean, who are they to judge you? It's not like they're all successful millionaires, right? Rule number 12, take ownership of your life. Too many times because we're young, or because we're scared, or because we really don't have that much self-esteem, we let other people decide for us. Believe it or not, your parents don't know everything. And most of the time you know when they're wrong. Most of the time you know when your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your friend doesn't have your best interest in mind. So to take ownership of your life means to be responsible for your own life, to stop blaming your mistakes on other people, to at least be able to say, yes, I made that mistake. It was all my mistake. It also means to stop making other people's mistakes. I'm not asking you to rebel against your parents. I am, however, asking you to consider how long your life is. You're the only person that can take care of yourself. So when you're sure about something, when your parents tell you to get this job, when your parents tell you you should marry this person, be courageous, be brave enough to say no. Don't be rude, but be affirmative. Don't compromise your values. This is something new that I've been trying to do. I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker, but I have experienced something similar. I have experienced difficulty in my life, and I think I've come out of it with relative ease and graciousness. So right now, whenever I run into people I know that are going through a tough time, I like to tell them what I learned. You guys are kind of like my friends. I hope these tips will help you out. I know how it feels. Young people these days really have a tough time. I know sometimes the closest people around you are the least supportive people. I appreciate you for staying all the way till the end, and please share it with a friend if you think that this video will help them. All right? Bye.